Hello, Dr. and Dr. Swag. How are you guys doing this afternoon?
Great, thank you. How are you?
Doing great.
I'm good. Hey. So how was your guys' day today?
Say that again?
How was your day today? You guys have a pretty good day?
Yeah.
Busy.
Yeah.
Busy.
Work day.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
How was your day?
It
How
was
was your
good.
day?
It was okay. It was okay.
Good.
How was your day?
It was good.
It was good? Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on Bosswife Live. Today we'll be talking about the confident spouse and the husband being that confident spouse to that boss wife. And I have a great question to ask you guys. It was something that I asked the last couple that I did, and I thought it was a very good question. So I wanted to kind of repeat it. Normally I don't repeat my questions, but I thought this was a pretty good one. So what would be a movie to describe your relationship? And you can't converse. Like, you have to have your own movie. He has to have his own movie. Like, what movie would you think? And I know this may be hard for you because you don't really like watch movies. But like, think of a movie that you think would describe your relationship and why. I'll go first since, okay, so you want me to go first? Okay.
You go ahead.
You want to go first? No. So I said Life, the movie Life. Have you guys seen Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence? Okay. Or did you say Life? That's not what, yeah, David said Life. Okay, so that wasn't, I think I said Life was like one of our favorite movies as a couple. I think I said Fast and the Furious. You guys watch Fast and the Furious?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, they had about 20 of those, don't they?
They did.
Yeah.
But the relationship is still the same. So it was Daryl was, what was the guy name?
In the movie,
he was Van Diesel.
Police.
Yeah, so Daryl was Van Diesel and I was the police officer. You know how like they first met and they met kind of like off script, and it was like the police officer, Brian, that's his name. O'Brien had, Brian O'Connor. He had like a mission, but when he got there and he kind of realized who he was targeting, and they kind of built a relationship, right? And so the outcome ended up totally different than what he expected. So that was the movie I chose for our relationship. Like the outcome, when I first met Daryl, you know, it was just kind of we were supposed to be friends, but he kept messing with me, he kept bugging me. So, you know, the outcome of how it ended for me was totally different because I didn't expect for that to be the outcome.
So are you implying that he bugged his way into your life?
Right, pretty much.
So why not a Bug's Life? That's a good movie.
Bug's Life. No, that wouldn't
I can't really think of one. I really can't think of. I mean, we don't really watch that many movies.
Okay, what about music? What song would you think would apply to your relationship? So it's like you got to come up with your own. Go Dr. Swag. You have to come up with your own. You can't wait on him.
Well, the song that comes to my mind is from way back, and it's Always and Forever.
Okay. Okay. And who thinks that?
So, well, just because, you know, it talks about each moment with you, you know, is just like a dream come true that, you know,
oh, yeah.
Somehow it came true, even though you couldn't fathom the dream. And that's how we started. We were just friends. We really were just friends for years. We used to double date and everything with other couples, like he with his girlfriend, me with my boyfriend. We double dated, and, you know, I mean, so it was just never a thought that, oh yeah, one day you'll be with Rozario. It was just like, no, Rosario's like my buddy, like we're cool. Until we realized that when we separated for Christmas break during school, that we did not want to be away from each other, even though we were forced to be because it was break time. So, you know, so Always and Forever, that's why I think for me.
Okay, that's cute. I like that.
That's good.
What was your movie?
movie or song?
Oh, you can do a song.
I'm saying Tyrese. What's the Have I Told You I Love You lately?
Okay.
You know the song?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It said, Have I Told You I Love You lately? Have I told you still mean the world to me?
Okay.
Has he? Has he?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
Oh, good. Very good. Very good.
Dr. Black.
I would actually say I have to go to one of my favorite movies. It's Coming to America.
Okay.
Because just the part where she's my queen.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I mean, it's just he went looking for his queen. He went all the way across the world looking for his queen, and I would have done that if I had to go to the other side of earth to find Angie. I would have done that.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, and then if you want a song, I'd have to go with "Isn't She Lovely?"
Oh, okay. Love it. That's cute. Okay. Awesome. I thought that was a pretty fun question that I came up with. So I was like, I'm going to stick with that one. That was cute. So give us a little background on how you guys met and the journey that you guys embarked on together.
Well, we met in New Orleans. I was teaching at I was working at on a program on the campus of Dillard University where Angela was a student, and started a Bible study there with the students. And so I'm not really sure when the first time, I don't know if she came to the Bible study or if she came to the church. I'm not really sure. She probably remembers it better. But as a consequence of the Bible study, we got to know each other and just started being friends. And we were really, really good friends. She and her roommate and I were really good friends, and just hung out. And like she said, then that Christmas came, and I got my Christmas present. I didn't know I was going to be getting, but it was the best Christmas ever,
Right. Okay. So Dr. Fleck, tell us how you became a boss wife.
Well, I guess I became a wife before I became a boss. Because we got married my 4th year of medical school. And so just taking that medical school journey and, being a wife, cultivating a marriage, and still trying to do my training and all. And once the training was over, just accepting a job position, and subsequently, the Lord opened up a door for my partner and I to build our own building back in 2005. And in 2014, he also opened a door for us to start a night clinic for children, in addition to our day clinic that we have. So that's how I guess I would be classified as a boss wife at this point. But I was actually a wife before I was the boss, years before.
So what characteristics do you think that you have, that you use as a boss to help also in your marriage?
That is a better question than the movie question.
Characteristic of a boss that I carry over into my marriage?
Yes.
Organization.
Okay.
And making sure that everybody is taken care of. I have to make sure my employees are taken care of just as well as I have to make sure my patients are taken care of. So nurturing. And that's probably the big 2 that I would say, that I carry over. Now he would say being bossy is carried over from work to the house. So maybe a little bit of that as well. But I think organization.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, organization, I think, and nurturing are probably the 2 biggest things that I encompass that helps in both scenarios.
Okay. Pastor Flag, what do you think?
For her?
Yes.
I would say hiring top quality personnel. No, but I think the whole issue of being driven, and and just motivated, committed, dedicated. I think really seriously, the qualities that it takes to have a good relationship, it also takes to be a good boss, and to really have a focus and a plan to make things work. And so I think that those are some of the probably just the cursory qualities that I think have helped out our relationship.
What about you? What characteristics do you think I bring over into the marriage from being a boss?
Definitely organization. Definitely organization. Not only is she organized with her goals and plans, she plans stuff out like with ample amount of time. I'm kind of like a last minute type of person, and so she pushes me with as far as organization and being bossy.
Whatever. Oh, really? Okay.
You ready for me to take it back?
So do you guys have like a morning routine that you guys do together every morning, or you just kind of wake up as soon as the alarm goes off and you get up and you go about your day? Like, do you have a routine that you do together or no?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, every morning I'm usually the first one up, and he will get up and we listen to the scripture on audio, and as we're preparing our day and doing our like oral hygiene duties and things like that, and then he goes and makes me a cup of coffee, and then we have prayer, and then he boots me out the door because like I said, I'm usually the first one up and I'm the first one out the house.
A lot of times it's because I just went to bed.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so we're really opposite when it comes to that. She's not as, she's more of a morning person, although she's not really a morning person. She has, but by nature of being the boss, she has to get out and get there. And I've got a little more flexibility when it comes to that.
Gotcha. I don't really know. Like, we don't really have a morning routine. I'm the one who lays in the bed until my 5th alarm probably goes off.
Until your 5th alarm? You said your 5th alarm?
Yes. Yeah, I have 4. And then by the time I'm in the car, hopefully that 5th one is going off. But yes, I do. Like, no exaggeration, I really do. I hate getting up in the morning, but mainly because I'm the last one to go to bed too, because I stay up really late. But we don't really have a morning routine together. He'll make sure the kids get up for me, and then just so I can get up and be the last one up and out the house. He has a routine, he gets up and meditates and prays, and then he takes the baby to the school. I take the older to the school because they're closer to where I work. But as far as together, we don't. Not as far as with the kids, we do, because I know we get up and we pray with the kids. I pray with my 2, he prays with his 2, and that's pretty much our morning. But I know you guys are empty nesters right now, but when the kids were all in the house and you guys were raising your family together, were the roles reversed? Like, who did what as far as the children? Pastor Slack.
I did almost everything with them.
Okay.
And you think I'm being facetious?
I don't.
No, I mean, no, and I'm not saying that she didn't do anything, but
right.
I mean, I think the primary thing to note is that I was professionally going around teaching fathers how to be actively involved fathers. And so I was not going to be a hypocrite and be in Milwaukee and Chicago and everywhere telling everybody else how to be involved with their children, but not be involved. But Angie's always been a great mother. So it's just, we always allowed the time for each other to do what they needed to do with the kids, and covered for the other if they were, like if they weren't, like when I was traveling a lot of times, by default, she had to do a lot of things without me. But like with her profession and with her business, I was the one, and I've often had, well, most of the time I've had more flexibility. Was it all the time? Was it? Yeah.
Except when you were traveling.
Yeah, except when I was traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would take them to practices and pick them up and stay at practice and go to games and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But
But a lot of times I got them up in the morning. Our kids had to go to school really early. They had to be there at 7:15. So I would get them up because he is going to be the last one to get up. So get them up and get everybody kind of stirred, but he would take them to school and he would read a scripture and prayer before they walked out the doors, what we all would do as a family. If I was still here, if I was rounding or something, and of course, I missed that part, but that's kind of how we did it. Yep.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Pastor Flack, did you feel a certain way, other than being her arm candy? Like, did you feel like you were slacking in an area of?
is that a pun?
No.
I slack in every area.
Oh, I got it. I didn't get it. I thought you meant arm candy. I was like, what?
I totally ignored that right there.
But yes, like, do you feel like because of how society deems us as, the role for the woman and the role for the man, like, did you feel like because she was the boss of her profession, like, do you feel like, oh, I'm not worthy enough, or, I'm not living up to the part where I'm supposed to be living up to? Like, how did you stay confident in your role as a man in your relationship?
That's a really great question. Number one, I think the thing that really got me was I had a female boss when we were dating, and the female boss, when Angie decided that, when we found out that she was going to medical school not too far away and all of that, the female boss told me that, she said, asked me how was I going to feel that Angie was going to make more money than I was going to make. And I told that boss then, I said, I want her to make $1 million a minute because that is going into the Slack account. And then when I told Angie that, what the boss had told me, Angie said, she doesn't know she's talking about. I fully expect you to make more money than me. But so it's always been a very open relationship and very affirming, and we've always just acted as a team, So I never even thought about her in the posture of being a boss, except for when she came home one day and was trying to boss me.
That one day?
Yeah. Now she probably had been doing it before, but this one day, it's the one I remember. And I'll let her take it from there.
Okay. Dr. Flack, you want to tell about that one day you came home and tried to boss him around?
I was just doing what I do, and I'm a list person. So This is the to-do list for today. This is the to-do list for tomorrow. And so he said something to the effect of, you can boss people at work, but you cannot boss people up in here. You can't talk to me like you talk to your employees. You're gonna have to check that at the door. So, that's what he said. I paraphrase because I don't remember exactly what he said, but there was
no cussing involved. Okay.
Right.
I know. I just want to put that up.
Yeah, that was an eye opener. I was like, oh wow.
Typically, when people are paraphrasing stuff, they're leaving out expletives.
Right.
Oh no. Yeah. No, there was no cursing.
No.
Right.
He's still sitting here, so no, there was no cursing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was, it was natural. I mean, and
Right.
so it was, but it was also a necessity for clarification that, that you do have to leave certain things at the office. And though you may bring the skills in, there's some things that you're going to have to modify at home.
Yeah, I like your tone.
Right. Yeah. What about you? Do you feel like, I don't know, that was a lot in there, but like, do you feel like, not the bossy part, but how do you feel, you know, with me being an entrepreneur as a wife and a mother and trying to balance everything at the same time?
I thought back to when we first got married, and we were having like babies back to back, and so I worked 2 jobs, and she didn't work for a while, and so when she did go back into the workforce, it was really a challenge because, you know, while she was home, you know, I knew, you know, dinner was gonna be there, you know, the stuff I messed up was gonna be cleaned up. And so when she stepped into the role of working and then starting a business and life coaching and, you know, all of the rest of those things, it was really a challenge because my mindset was still like, what we gonna eat? And so at this point, it's like, it's on us to, you know what we're gonna eat. You know, it's on me to cook sometimes, you know, it's on me to clean up sometimes. So honestly, it was a challenge, and it's still something that I'm, you know, actually getting adjusted to, you know, but I think I'm getting adjusted because like even now I'll cook and then I'll bring her plate and we'll eat together. And then when she get done, I'll take her plate back to the kitchen. And I told her the other day, I'm like, so I'm cooking and I'm taking your plate back into the kitchen. But I mean, it just means that I've gotten like adjusted to the roles because at first you know, because of the beginning of our marriage, my mindset was one way. But then, you know, after she was up, you know, preparing at night, you know, not getting a lot of hours of sleep, I realized that, you know, I needed to lighten the load. Like some days I need to get up and take the kids to school so she can't sleep in because she is up like Dr. Slack was saying. I try to go to bed early, but she's up.
He just go to bed.
She's up late. And so she's up late working on stuff. So, you know, like I said, the roles kind of reversed a little bit, you know, and it's still a challenge, but I realized that what she's building is for us. What I'm building is for us. So, you know, everything is pretty much going together, you know, so I don't need to be looking at it like, well, she's doing this, she's doing that, because whatever money she makes is our money. And whatever money I make is her money.
Right.
I mean,
that's how it goes.
Smart guy.
Whatever. But so do you feel like I'm ever too bossy for you? It was a trick question. You weren't supposed to think about it.
I'm like, you got to live after this podcast.
Right.
Speak carefully.
Next question. No, honestly, I believe that you push me, you know, in a good way, because sometimes I will kind of wait on some things. Sometimes I do procrastinate. Sometimes I categorize some things as important and some things as not so important. And so sometimes those not so important things to me are very important to her. So I wouldn't really say bossy, but I can see that sometimes she might get a little agitated because I worked on something else versus what you wanted me to work on at the time.
Don't say what I wanted you to work on. Just say like, wait, probably needed to be worked on.
Well, what probably needed to be worked on.
Was that your bossiness coming out? He said,
no, that was just encouragement. That was just encouragement.
Yeah, that's what I recognized it as encouragement.
Right. So, when you guys, at the end of the day, when the day is said and done, you know, how do you guys come together and you end your night?
I don't know if it's a coming together as much as it is just a state of being. I mean, it's like I don't think it's compartmentalized like that. You know, we have our individual space and our individual times to do things. And, you know, I mean, you're talking about 30 years. We've just learned how to respect, you know, what each other's doing and know that each, or at least be able to have confidence that the other is always acting for the benefit of the relationship. And so I just feel just like a consistent existence, you know, togetherness.
And Dr. Sack, do you feel the same way?
Well, I think we come together of sorts because, you know, we walk in the door, we're like, coming in, you know, that's like that, you know, that greeting, hey, I'm home, you know, and then we usually will have something to eat. You know, we might not be eating the same things because we don't cook like we did when the children were home. But we, you know, we'll have something to eat. We'll sit down, watch a little TV. Usually he'll fall asleep, I fall asleep, you know, and that's because our days are so long, you know. So sometimes we're gone all day. So like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, non-stop.
11,
yeah, 10,
12.
11. Yeah. So that's kind of our coming together, is where you just walk in the door, let your presence be known, and know we're gonna eat, we're gonna watch a little TV, we're gonna chit chat a little bit, and then we're gonna probably conk out if we don't have an errand to run. So
I got you. Okay. And you have been married for 30 years.
November.
It's coming November.
30 years. That's amazing. Sunday, it'll be 17 years for us.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So this podcast is in honor of that, to all the couples out there, to help, you know, marriages build and stay strong. To the men who are having to be that confident spouse to their wife, not saying that they're not the boss in their world either, because Pastor Slack, and I know I tried not to call you Pastor Slack, I really did, but I just gave it up. But I know my audience heard me calling you Pastor Slack, but can you let us know your resume as well? Like, what do you do and how great do you do it?
How great I do it?
Yes.
I'm a pastor. I am a speaker. I do a lot of, you know, I do conferences, trainings, mentoring, fatherhood trainings, theological education, teaching. I'm an adjunct professor at a university. That's enough. That's enough. You know, I'm dean of an organization that helps people to get certificates in theology.
Right. Okay.
And that's enough.
Right. So you're more than just arm candy for Dr. Slack.
No.
That's your number one role, right? Well, thank you guys so much for doing this. Pastor Slack, is there any advice you want to give to the men out there who are being that confident spouse to their boss in their house?
I would say this, and I'll tell you a couple of things that have helped me. In the society in which we live, there are many roles that have been reversed as far as traditional marriage. And there's some circumstances that may occur in your own relationship, but you have to be present in your relationship. You can't fulfill the relationship of your best friend, or, you know, or your cousins, your parents, or people on television. The circumstances and situations that you have to dissect those and make it happen, because, you know, I mean, life happens to all of us, and things happen quickly. You have to just be prepared to be supportive of each other. And we live in a society where women are just knocking the doors down, and they're doing things that would have never been thought of previously. And
knocking doors down, shattering glass ceilings.
Yes, yes.
Interrupting pastors.
Interrupting pastors, interrupting the confident spouse.
No, but seriously, it's like, so you can't bring what are traditional roles for other people into your relationship, because you have to create your own traditions,
Right.
and you have to be confident and comfortable with the fact that there is a commitment, and your commitment should always be to see your spouse blossom into the person that God created them to be, because when they are being their best for God, or, in that purpose, operating in that purpose, they can be their best for you. And until that happens, there's always going to be a gap
Right.
between,
Yeah.
what could be and what is.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you. Dr. Sack, you have any advice for that boss wife out there who's trying to maintain her home and stay above water, but also show respect to her company spouse as well?
Pretty much what you said. Always show respect. I was just going to say, stay in your place. You can be the boss at work, but at home, you have a protector, you have a supporter, you have a king, you have, that person that God has created you to be their helpmeet. Be the helpmeet. Don't destroy your own relationship. So I would just say, keep your cool, stay your place, submit in the areas, that you need to submit to, back down, you don't always have to have the last word, stay focused on the relationship, because if your actions will destroy the relationship, then your actions are inappropriate. So I would just advise women to work outside of the home, be pampered, and allow yourself to be taken care of at home, because you're taking care of everyone else outside the home at your job. So stay focused, stay feminine.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Girl, you have any advice to give?
Everything that they just said. All of it. All of it.
Okay.
All of it is covered.
Everything.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, sir.
I just want to posit that Angie is the epitome of what she said. That's not rhetoric. It's not something to just say for the mics. I am still in awe all these years later at how she is so, and that one instance that I had was not a running issue that we had. It was resolved on that day, as far as I'm concerned, but it's really, really amazing to me when I watch how productive she is, and that she will still be able to deal with me. And I mean, and it might sound like it's funny, but I mean, really, I've always been amazed at that. So I really appreciate that with you.
Oh, sugar.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on this episode with us. Thank you to Daryl for joining us on tonight. And I just want to say, you guys, this was amazing. I learned something. I know my audience has learned something. And I cannot wait to get you guys back on in 2 or 3 years from now and hear some more wisdom on how we can continue to grow and just how great life has been for you guys. So thank you guys so much for joining us. My audience, thank you as well. You're welcome. Thank you as well for tuning in on tonight. Thank you for being with us every week, every Tuesday night. We love you. You know where we are. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let us know if there's something you want to hear, or a topic or a guest that you want to talk to. Let us know, and we will see you guys next Tuesday.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.